Let's go, Jim's. Turvey's got the Spurs plus 10.5 tomorrow. They are taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. This is actually 11.5 now. You can get a better number in the market. Money moving towards the Pelicans. Jim, why are you on San Antonio and Victor Wembanyama without like 800 of his fellow Spurs?
Yeah, so Vassell and Sohan are out. Keldon's questionable. But on the other side of things, you have Ingram and Alvarado out for the Pelicans, with Zion being questionable. So you might want to wait on this because it sounds like Pelicans are taking money, which maybe makes me think that someone out there knows that Zion might be playing. But I'm probably going to like this at its settled number no matter what. The Spurs have been one of my favorite teams to bet all season, but especially after the All-Star break. They've been a kind of a quiet wagon after the All-Star break. They're 15-6 against the spread since the All-Star break. They've covered their last 5. Pelicans, meanwhile, have covered just 1 of their last 6 and 2 of their last 8. The Pelicans are in a little bit of a dip right now. Spurs aren't winning a ton of games, but they're in everything. It seems like they're just a team that's I already can't wait to bet on their futures for next season, like a win total in particular, and maybe a make the playoffs. Because I do think the ceiling for this team, I really think they're going to get good quicker than we anticipate. But focusing just on tomorrow's game for now, if we look at the last 2 weeks, the Pelicans have actually had a negative net rating. They're negative 1.5 by cleaning glass. The Spurs are a little bit worse. They're at -4, but that is not a noticeable gap to make this a double-digit spread, even with the Pelicans at home. So again, all of my bets right now, I'm toning down unit sizes because the Pelicans are the extremely motivated team, but the Spurs have had no motivation to do anything after the All-Star break, and yet they've covered 15 of 21 games. So I think we can overweigh motivation at times. And I think that this Spurs team is just better than the market number for them right now. And the Pelicans are in a little bit of a slump. Now that again can flip pretty quickly. So I'm more on the Spurs than fading the Pelicans per se, especially because the Pelicans, every time I bet them, it seems like I lose. So I'm a little bit nervous about the Pelicans side of it, but I do love the Spurs and they've been good to me all season. And I think double digits is just a little bit heavy for this game.
I'm with you. I've got this projected at 8.4 with all the injuries, and that seems still right to me. I also think that, look, I mean, New Orleans is probably going to be pretty pissed. They were mad about that Magic game. They were mad, and it's getting dicey, but I also just don't know. I mean, this is a spot where I do think late in the season when you're up against these kind of scenarios of seeding, you need a lot of locker room leadership. Like, you need guys that are going to set the tone for your team. Zion, unfortunately, is not that. Maybe he'll get that way, but he's not that dude. And the Spurs are still playing competent basketball. They hung with the Denver Nuggets the other night. No Jamal Murray, but they hung with the Nuggets the entire game. So I think I like this play. I'm going to go ahead and tail it as well.